Bitbox, where art thou? William Heads at your disposal. Check that right quick. Oop, nope. That's what I have to do. That's not bigger than that though. Let's go with this. Yo! Late night stream. Yes, ma'am. Heather B. How you doing today? How are you doing today? I had a really fun stream today. I was like in and out. My signal was crazy where I was at. But I had a good time over there in Dad's workshop. Ta-da. Ta-da. Queer couple on the intranet. Sorry, Beyonce. Mike Osborne says, "Cello, what's happening?" She says, Mike says, "I love the chili butter, brother." Oh, this. Yeah, it's a violin, in fact. A violin. I guess it could be, size-wise. Yup. The people love West, says Heather. That's sweet. Isn't that cool? You can see the visuals of the vibration. Shake, 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 shake your bird up. All right, here's the things we are going to do today, family. I don't know what that is. Oh my gosh. This stuff scattered and smattered. Okay. We need a box for this. A suitable box. You know what I mean? Something that looks cool. We got to build that. And bow tie. Now, yes, I can tie a conventional bow tie, but this is the style of bow tie that I can make out of wood. I can't tie wood, so what I've got to do here is figure out how to make wood into that. And the problem, or the challenge, is that it's very ripply. And I've looked online. Like a friend of mine had this idea for me a long time ago, and I didn't know how to execute it. And I didn't have the tools to execute it. I just thought it was very cool. I still don't know if I do, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try it a couple of different ways, I'm sure. I don't know if I have a lot of faith in the first way, but I'm going to try it because it's probably the way that I could get the most authentic situation, because there's depth there, right? And if you look at that depth from the full width to the full width, you end up with about that much, which ends up just about right there, right? See? So we shall see. Yeah. I did have the idea maybe potentially building it out of stock like this, but the problem with that is you don't get that depth, and you would have to curve the wood, and maybe I could do some wood turning, but it's gonna be with that grain for it to be authentic, and it just seems like it might be too fragile, but I don't know. I can try it. And I'm thinking like it may be, I don't know if it's harder to bend a longer piece, or if I cut this into shorter pieces and then bent it, you know what I mean? And just bent the little well, and then did like a little piece like that just went here, and then just stacked them. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, and then maybe some depth with maybe a second piece of wood. Don't know. But I do want, if you're looking at it from the side, I want the curls. I want the, you know what I mean? I want it to be like a bow tie, for real. Fatter than not. Good evening, all. Calvin says, because I will snap in the middle if it's skinny like the actual tie. Heather B says, Jesus Christ, you are going to try to sculpt fabric? Yes, my child. I didn't. I did not know that you would figure out who I was this soon in the algorithm. But yes, also this is wine. Dad's Workshop says make sure the knot is oversized. You can laminate those two pieces of stock. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to carve it. First thing I'm gonna do is try to carve it out of this chestnut, which is gonna be really hard. But look how tight that grain is, right? But I got the freaking Dremel now, right? I got this thing now, right? And I showed you the other day, I freaking, that thing right there, that old school paper chopper. Calvin definitely knows what that device is. But it cuts papers, and I can get unlimited belts for this out of, not unlimited, but I can get 6 of them out of every one of these. It's crazy. Like, that saves me so much more money. Bomba Clyde, that's so awesome, man. Congrats, Sid Alperni. Dang, George came in and said something that got him kicked out. Jesus. Jesus Christ. I didn't even know lions was in here. That's right. I love that. We got lions lurking in the background. You never know. You come in gallivanting around like some irresponsible gazelle, crapping where you want, and then a lion comes out of the freaking back and you're out of here. Holy cow, I remember when someone said make a violin the other day. Life's been so busy, it felt like a week ago, but it's only been a few days. It felt like a week ago to me too, man. This thing was work. Thus I am milking it to death. I got an old house, it's creaky. But also, yeah, I got this box. Maybe we just go straight into trying to make this thing into a freaking bow tie. Why don't we just do that? Let's first figure out how to slice this thing up. Get us a good template so we'll get a good size out of it. Hold music. I am back. I'm Beethoven. Dad joke number 27. We're going to kind of exaggerate these parts and pieces right now because obviously we got to cut away. We'll cut down to it, you know what I'm saying? Because, as I always say, better to have too much wood than too little wood. Ladies know what I'm talking about. Just kidding, fellas. It's how you work your chisel, Holmes. How you beat your mallet. Okay, I'm about to get shut all the way off. All right. Dad jokes have gone too far. This might be exactly the kind of situation that I could do the old yeah, I think I could do the old homemade bandsaw trick with this one. I'll try it by gum. That's not what people say. Curse words. I'll try it by gum. Get all your mouths off of it. I had to do one. Well, maybe I had to do two. Please, Charles. Yeah. That's going out this weekend. Listen, the household that I know has the most mallets. 1, 2, 4. Now you're gonna have to do a giveaway to get rid of my mallets. Like, we don't need no more tools over here, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That is so funny. I didn't even mean to do that to you, cool cow. The loader just shot down with stuff that you didn't even build. It's my bad, bro. Too bad. You're getting. Alright, so I'll show you real quick how I did this. This is just metal, right? It's just metal. So I drilled a hole, I drilled a hole, I drilled a hole. In very convenient places away from where these spot welds are, right? Because I don't want to loosen anything, I don't want to mess anything up. Here, here, and here. I did a template of that, and then I did the same thing over here so that I can do that. And then that, and there's a blade. But in this case, I definitely need a longer blade. And we'll probably go with a finer blade too. Fine as we can. Oh, I don't know if we got fine and long. Horse pocket. And that's a problem because it's a little longer. Ugh, don't like it though. Don't like it. But we're gonna try it. Maybe cut slow. I don't know. Because it's gotta penetrate. It's still gotta penetrate that depth as well, right? So there's that, and then whatever wood you're cutting. And the wood I'm cutting is at least that thick. I'll show you what I got. That long. I have the general purpose blade. And any carpenter in this chat that heard me say general purpose blade just went, like Krusty the Clown, like, General purpose blades generally suck. They're not good for fine work, for sure. We're just gonna cut crazy wide and sand down to it. We'll do it to get our rough shape. We won't be reliant on it for any kind of accuracy. So I'm sorry you gotta see this. It's not my finest hour. I don't even know if I've ever had a fine hour. Jeez. As he locks in his Ryobi tool. Man, what if Beavis and Butthead grew up to be like YouTube channel critics? Wouldn't that be the most awesome thing in the world if it came back, Beavis and Butthead, just to crap on stations and channels? I might do that. I'll just do a voiceover over my own lives. This dude sucks. Yeah. But I got cutting. That wood. That wood. Say wood. Oh, yeah, no. This dude's awesome. I'm gonna subscribe. Yeah. Subscribe to this nice channel. Shut your eyes. Yeah. Shut up. Beavis, you're gonna get canceled. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Scott's cool. Subscribe. Yeah. It's the wrong show, dumbass. So, what I'm looking for is my box of screws. I believe this is in my box of screws. I need screws like this. I need 2 more of these. It's a fairly regular size for me. So I should have all this. And also need these nuts. Okay. But I do. It's for holding these in place. And that's the right size. And so find those nuts. Really any size would work. Bam. And kerblooey. That's what I needed. So we're gonna lock this back in. Get in the box. Get in the box. Otherwise it'll be all up under your feet, man. All up under your feet, homie. I don't know if I have a place for you over here. Maybe I could. Woodwork by Dan says, you always have a fine hour, Wes. Sounds good, man. Numerous fine hours. I'm falling asleep now. Dang it, Lions. I've passed you out. Have a good sleep, man. Dang it. Nice nuts, mates. Wait, that sounded good. All right, I'm glad you're having a good time. So let's look at this cheap stuff I built. But it works. That line just goes down the edge there, right? But this is free so that I can do that, and so that I can just reach under and lock that in. I'm gonna go ahead and put a battery on it right now, so I don't have to do all that climbing underneath. It's not that I'm old. It's just the way my bank account is set up. I can't afford to get hurt. Alright, so we're gonna sit that under there like so. And then we're in business. Now, you might be asking, Wes, is that the only way you can do it? No, it occurred to him. Could do it like that. Which in retrospect seems probably easier than how I've been doing it before. But hey, Only had this for like a month. So back off. Yeah, leave them alone. This guy's cool. Yeah, it's got like suspenders and stuff. Yeah. Because you could never rock suspenders. Only a suspenders guy. You couldn't rock suspenders if you were hanging from the roof. Shut up, dumbass. Couldn't square a triangle if your life depended on it. You don't even know what a square is. Yeah, it's like one of those triangles. Something like that. That's why I'm here. Jonathan, I'm learning. You're a nerd. Not a nerd. You're a wood nerd. All these guys are wood nerds. I gotta check this chat's ass. Good totally this entire chat. Chat. Beat the crap out of you. These are peaceful people. Their body is mellow. And their blood is strong. Yeah. Got it. Alright. Now, one more time for the old bit box. Old bit box, we call upon thee again. Please, the number 2 Phillips. The number 2 Phillips of bit box. Trying to do it in the Lions accent. I just failing that. Comes off so weak. Well, accent. I know that Beavis and Butthead went over half of your brains. At least half of you. That's number 2, but that's not a half-inch bit. That's alright. That's alright. I'll lock it in anyway. I'll lock it in anyway. Sometimes you can be short and still get the job done. This guy knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. Just lock those bad boys in. And when they're tight, what they'll do, because I counter screwed them, countersunk them, I should say, is that as soon as they drop below the surface, I know they bit far enough to hold. It's going to be quite steady. I realized I hadn't done that at just the right second. Catastrophe averted. Fortunately for me, unfortunately for you, you don't get to see me push my wood. Okay. Bow tie experiment. Engage! Alright, this one is, for whatever reason, a backwards setup blade, so I'm going to have to approach it from the opposite side of what I normally would. And it's also, this particular wood is very dusty. This is my, what do you call it, frickin' chestnut. And because it's chestnut and old as Methuselah, this is 100-year-old wood. It's dry as heck. You can't get a thin shaving, it'll turn to dust. So I got a mask up. I'm saying all that to say I'm gonna put a mask on. So if I sound muffled, shut up. Alright, here we go. know you want to be close. Just to be close to you, girl. That's better. Whoa, 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 whoa. Chill, chill, babe. But I can't back because there's somebody trying to. All right. Let's do it. Yeah. It's very rudimentary. But we on the way, big dog. We on the get out of that hole. Get over here in this hole. You know what I'm doing. Take it. All right. What in the Fellowship Hall of Haven has gone upon my life? What is this? Hey, Dad's Workshop sent me 2 smackaroos. The 99. Right after that, here comes Woodshed by Dan, showing them up and adding a penny to it for the 2 Scaronis. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dad. I always need you to come through for me, Pop. Thank you. Oh man, I'm going back in the chat. Lions was in here lying and said he didn't have an accent. What else is that why the name? Lions? Let me find out you're Jamaican. The whole thing's made up. Yo, Carrie Crew, Frostbite Digital, what's happening? How y'all doing, man? Good to see y'all in here. Always good to see lions, man. Get carving it into 3D-ness. Absolutely, positively. We are going to keep this reference around, though. Right here. This is our reference right here. Always, every time, man, I'm sitting here idly chit-chatting to you and realize that the camera's just right in my crotch-o-matic. Sorry. So sorry. Macario, hello, my brother. I'm hoping you're having an awesome Monday. I'm having the best Monday I've had all week. I promise you. I don't think I've even had a better Monday since last one. Because Tuesday was a terrible Monday if you put it into perspective. Okay, this is kind of what I did here. I hope you're having a good one. How was your Monday going, sir? Calvin says we got over 50 likes. Hot diggity dizog. Let's see if I get this. All right. We got a little. Oh, excuse me. All right. Next thing we're gonna do here is start 3Ding this. But the first thing I'm gonna do before that is that's all the water I got left, and that's not gonna do. I gotta hydrate. And I'll be right back. Did I miss anybody's chat real quick before I go? Before I run up and just grab water, I'm just coming right back down. Everybody's just in here being cool and whatnot. You know, okay. Good stuff. If I didn't say hey to you when you came in because I was busy doing something to try to get you set up to entertain you a little bit, I apologize. My goal is to be as neighborly as possible. But sometimes you gotta cut your own grass. You dig what I'm saying? Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day for a neighbor. Could you be mine? Could you be mine? Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? Connected back. Playing on tile still. Alright, let's see what the heck we're gonna have to do to make this something. Okay. I don't know how this is gonna go at all. I got no idea. Where's my mask? Well, where's my mask? Right there under yonder. Thank you. Oh, snap. I dropped my whole earbud. Ugh. Sorry. Dan, I don't know if you're still in here, man. But thank you. Oh, both of these went weird. I'm gonna have to do something different. I'll just have to yell for a second. That's all right with you. It's all right with me. We're gonna start with him. Get the power tools powering. And we gotta get our water protected. over here in the vault. So let's go ahead and get our battery back from over here. I'm sorry I've been throwing you around partially. Thing is, I'm a tough guy. You know? I don't want to be this way. But it's who I am. I don't mean you no harm. I'm just a brute. Let's get to it. First, let's just get down with the symmetry right quick. Do that. Because, you know, if it ain't straight, you know, right to jail. I'm gonna ruin my bow tie. That's one of my favorites. I look good in pink, what can I say? Every little breeze seems to whisper the weeds. Da, 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 da. Thanks, Dan. See, those carvers seem to have these all over the place. I first saw it in an automotive guy doing body work with it. And I thought, that's awesome if I ever get my hands on one of those. And then this thing came out and it was already on the platform. I had batteries for one of them. And it was cheap enough to give it a shot, and it's been magnificent. Highly recommend. And here's the thing, it's kind of an unkept secret here, right? See how that guard is, right? On that side, it's flat. So if that's what you're after, you just press against that. You get flat. But over here, it's got give in it. So it's great for curves, right? Where you don't actually want flat. Fantastic. And both sides function pretty well on their own. Yeah. Kind of like it. I'm kind of a symmetry freak, but this is supposed to be like fabric, so it's not supposed to be too symmetrical. Too perfect is wrong. Too perfect is wrong. Say it 3 times, Wes, and then you'll believe it. Too perfect is wrong. Da, 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 da. Hey, you see that spark? How'd I get a freaking spark? This wood has no nails in it. Pretty hard wood there, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, friend. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. We got to start drawing now. Let's see. This is obviously how that is. So that's that, and that's that. Let's just make some divisions here. That's deep, tight, tight. Fold down, tight. It's gonna spread out, tight, and then it's gonna spread out. Over here, same thing, tight and close. And it's gonna widen, boom, bada boom. And that means as this widens, this is up top, and this is going to soften and go back here, and this is going to ride with it back there, and this is going to come forward, and this is going to have a little piece coming with it, and that is going to be gone. And that is going to be gone. That is going to be gone. Do I believe in myself? Bet your bottom dollar, cowboy. Bet your bottom dollar. Alright, let's try it. We're going to tighten that bow tie part off. We're going to tighten that up before we get up out of that thing, though. So we're going to start knocking off stuff off the backside first. Get it? Maybe we should draw both of these out. We have a good idea of what we're going to do. We have a good idea of what we're going to do. On this side, we go back a little bit because bow ties are not perfect. And that one comes forward and then back some more, and then back up and open, and then back some more. Perfect. That's what I'm doing. Deal with it. I don't know how we're going to get it to do that. Oh, yeah, we got that fucking Dremel thing. That's perfect. Dremel, 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 Dremel. Yeah. Where's it at, though? Where you at, though? Where you at? Where you at, though? Where you at? I just fucking put the thing over. We'll try these earbuds again. Smoke shop. What up? Baby kisses. What's going on? What's going on? How you doing? How you doing? I'm trying to get some sound in your ear. See if it works. We're connected. All right, let's see what this does first. What do you call a guy sitting on a stack of 2x4s in camera phone? I don't know. Let's take it, Luke. Get it, Luke? Let's do it. Let's get it on. It's not that hard. Love you, Bert. Hmm. So far, so good. So far, so good. This portion of the show is sponsored by Call Your Mother, man. If your mom's still around, give her a freaking call. She's been waiting to hear from you and you don't call. Why would you not call your mom? A lot of people not that fortunate. Call your mom. If you don't have your mom, you call your siblings. If you don't have siblings, you call your friends. Call somebody. Make some human connections. Let's see. Soapbox Wesley. Ooh, yes, does it. So righteous. Alright, give me a second. I'm going to swig of water. Smoke Shop said I need a Ouija board. Oh yeah? Alright. Ouija board, tell me which way, who is the best? theatrics will drink water. Just so it's more real for you. Baby Kisses said, I don't need that. Smoke said, if I'm gonna call my mom, I am gonna call my mom. That's what's up. Do it. Appreciate you. Because I'm sick of her calling me. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Joking. Oh man, what a great night. What a great night. It's nice and quiet in here. And it's Dremel just doing his thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so impressed with this room. I should stop calling it Dremel if I'm impressed with it, right? Call it by its proper name. This is a barrel. A barrel. Whenever you need tools, but you don't want to spend any money. Where's does it? It's good enough. If y'all think I'm gonna be messing around with this bow tie and playing games, you are sadly mistaken, my friend. You are sadly mistaken. Oh, I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I want to do it good. That sometimes means I'm going to ruin it. But, you know, we'll go down in flames together. You and I. Not like that Titanic girl. Ooh, on her. Looking fondly back on somebody's preventable death years later. He's a sweet boy, full of poverty. Titanic. That is used by Whisper. But I don't know about that one. But I know about that one, right? I guess me I go for it. I don't know. I'm going to come back to that. That will come back to that. Silence, you rake. How dare you make such noise? I don't know if I should be using something faster than that, or if there is something faster than that, but I certainly have all these options. I might as well explore them. Let's go. I don't like to jump up I don't like to go too heavy too soon. You know what I'm saying? I like to take my time with things. I don't know. I say we go big or we go home. Nah. Gotta take my time with this one. You're the boss. You're the boss. Yeah, I am the boss. Now get the f out of here. Hmm? Never know who's gonna show up. Where's does it? Schizophrenia made fun. Alright. Let's close that off. And this little bad boy tightens up this little thingamabob, and then it, wait a minute, I still got wire from last night's party. But that tightens that thing up and it spreads that little gasket in there. I just discovered that yesterday, I think. And then it's supposed to lock that on a little better, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's supposed to do. Supposed to be my best friend. Supposed to be there from the way. Alright. Shutting up. Oh, hey, oh. I could have been strangulated. Instead, I'm talking to the manager. I'm calling the manager. What gives? Give me all this power. Is this a Mustang? First he picked something stupid to do, right? And I'm like, this guy's gonna crack his frickin' finger open, right? And I'm watching him and he's freaking blue in his face. Freaking mesmerized. Freaking mesmerized. Had a freaking pool for a week. A freaking week. Talks about himself, so pretty weird. Pretty weird. Pretty weird. That's not wrong. We have no for dinner, but watch the show. Watch the stupid show. said, maybe it is. We are getting there. We are getting there. I've got a respirator on. I've got a mask. It's just gas. Got a mask. And some water. How you doing, TJ? What's going on, T-Jeezy? T-Jeezy. Oh, man. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? It's a beautiful day to come carve some wood. Maybe you could use a lifesaver. Alright. Back to this raggedy motor scooter cutting into some cheap wood. Let's go. Lord have mercy. Man, I go to work again. I'm trying making bow ties. Crap. Let's go. I thought we were supposed to. No. Where did the ties go? What are you talking about? Man. So it's not only the ties now. The ties? I don't see it. No, no tailor, man. Woods, man. Don't talk about woods, man. Making bow ties. Tell you right now. This doesn't need bow ties of food. 100 years old. Nothing. Yes. You know me. You know me, Diana. I'm telling no lie. I ask you a question. Which does it make the bow ties after the wood, you see? Yes, that's a statement. Okay. You say to me, make the bow ties out the wood. What you gonna start the man with it? Sharp fingers, man. You gonna put that on the table, sir? No. You gotta make it the Dremel. No way, man. The first off, you're talking about Westwood. No way in blood clot. The man gonna spend money on a Dremel. Not a Dremel. You go to the Arbor Freight. You know how you do. Yeah, you do go to the Arbor Freight. So you go to the Arbor Freight to get a bower. Come back. Make a bow tie. Right in front, sir. You don't believe me? Go to the light, man. Let me show you right there in front of your eyes. Don't know how you're talking about. But what you gonna make a bow tie for? Tie a wooden bow tie. The style, man. The style. What you mean the style? Okay. What anybody else make a bow tie for? Everybody else make a bow tie to put down in it. Right. You're not gonna put a wooden bow tie around in it. Exactly. Unless you make the bow tie so beautiful, so perfect, and so comfortable that the people want to put it around in it. I can tell you it sounds like a novel idea, but I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. You got to tune in to see it. I mean tune in to see it. You can do it or you can't do it. You can see it later, you can see it now. Either way, you can see it done. But it's for people. Are you kidding me? You're doing a bow tie for people? Out the wood. 100-year-old wood, like 100-year-old wood. You're blowing my mind. Why are you blowing my mind this early in the morning? Not early in the morning. It's night time, man. What are you talking about? I don't know. Too much piña and not enough colada. Done nothing on this other side. Done nothing on this other side. Hickory poor, dixie boy. Dun, 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 dun. Hickory dory. Yeah, I think I get it now. I think I get it now. it. I have ignored the chat too long. Love my dribble too. Keep hitting accessories that you don't need yet. Tell me about it. Props to you, dude, says Nathan. Thanks. Gotta love that dribble tool, says Robert. And the wood shit by Dan. I've only booted one person off here. We all about building each other. I'm learning here. Nothing but love, says TJ. MVP says, I love the blacks. Listen. I know a lot of the blacks. A lot of them. I love them. I love them. They're delicious. They are delicious. I love the blacks. Maria says that looks like so much fun. Maria, you are absolutely right. Oh my God, it's so satisfying. So let's get back to action, yes? Wonderful. On the wild side sometimes. Nobody else can make it. Bring it down like a real river. So and so he's down for such and such. You won't take no step from nobody. Ain't gonna work without some depth, my friends. Gonna need depth. We're getting close to something that's sort of looking like something. It's enough to give me hope. You know what I mean? It's enough to give me hope. That's all I need is a little hope. The rounds up in the place, yes indeed. Just a cut, just a next word in the seed. Guaranteed to give you what you need. One blow, everybody like they read. That's what you need. Oh, that ain't real hole. Oh, that ain't a friggin' real hole. You nut. Everybody's gotta get knowledge. This is free. I don't feel it's your friend. It's your knowledge. I am not sight. I still get those knowledge. I'm a general guy now. Deal with it. Please. You guys. Kidding, guys. You kidding? Can't tell you. You ain't kidding, guys. It's your rotary door. Oh my God. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys now. Okay, here's our sides. We still got the tops and the bottom to deal with. It's a little crickety, but that's how it was. So, you know, and if not, we can always come chop a little bit, tighten it up. You know how we do. All right. How y'all doing in the chat? Y'all hanging with me? Y'all cool? Need a glass of water? I got a glass of water over there. Let me know. Let me know. Thank you, Dan, for being in this chat and kicking it with us. We'll see you later, buddy. Have a great night. And what is Mr. doing in the building? How you doing? Just for fun? Yeah, I'm doing a bow tie. Absolutely. Carving it out of 100-year-old chestnut. Take that. Take it. Standing bits seem to last indefinitely. I'm impressed with what has taken place here today. It's totally controllable. It really does let you know like that when it's bogging down. And if you decide to bog down, after you do, you're going to burn your wood and then you just come back behind and lightly sand off what you burnt. And the result is freaking good. And when it's fast speed, you just go, man. It really doesn't hold you back unless you're pressing down like extra hard or something. Look at that. I'll walk it. Like I'd be tempted to just use it to knock off big pieces of material, but that ain't really what it's for, is it? So I mean, it's a go-go gadget top that's a handy tool to have in your hat. Tell you that much. Like dare any of you to try to carve a 100-year-old bow tie today. Today. 100 years old today. And it's new at the same time. Yeah, I'm just knocking down some material. I think that is a little too high. And as I near the edge, I'm do a little round over. There's a can. I don't really want a flat surface anywhere on the front of this. I'm hoping not to have any flat face surfaces that were original to it because I don't want it to carry that feeling of something carved. I want it to carry the feeling of something flowing and natural. I, still looks a little cartoonish. So there's more work to do. We got work. We got work to do. All right, sorry for the G-Funk. Little chitty chat break. Hi, saucy. Hey, Adenije Hakeem. I hope I said that right. Juan Gonzalez. Juan, you've been in here before. GS, what up? And any and everybody else joining us this evening for the West Does It After Hours special. All right, baby. Let's get to chopping some wood. Chop, 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 chop. What? I wonder if this might help you see a little bit better. Yeah. Barney Rubble says, Wes, can you send me a bucket of your patience with a dash of skill, please? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's starting to look like something. It's still a little cartoony for me, though. But again, it's enough to give me hope. So I want it two-sided because, why not? One side dark, one side light, see how it works. Or just natural. I don't know. I'm going to finish separating these two halves. I got a little more to do here. And then I'll probably go to files and sandpaper after that. I think I've got my thickness about what I can tolerate. And I'm not mad at that. So I'm not going to try to do all of it with the Dremel, but we'll see. Fall back on that for a schmecker. I think that's what fell earlier. You vibrated right off the bench. There we go. Gasp. How dare you? How dare you, sir? Weak sauce. Weak sauce indeed. Remove your debris, please, sir. hey Wes, check out my scrap wood art when you get a chance. For sure. Sorry, chat. Sorry if I've disturbed you. But that is like very close. That grain is definitive though. I figured this one with all the wormholes in it would be a good species to maybe get something interesting out of, you know what I mean? So all those dark spots are just wormholes that are going to be there, but all in all, I think we're getting close. And I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break. Okay, and I might just have to come back. Skeletor Raw says, I'm working on a star I cut out. I was going to paint it yellow, but I love the grains, so I'm about to stain it. Just finished sanding. Oh, that's going to be super satisfying. Yeah, it's hard for me to paint over a grain that I like to. Let's get a quick little cheapo side by side and see what we're looking like over here. If we at all pass for anything resembling anything. Here we go. That's what we got. Like it's not, proportionally, it's about right, I think I could go in tighter here, I guess. I could go in tighter. I can make that knot a little bit tighter, I don't hate it, I don't hate it. Hey, Woodchucker, what's going on? You've been camping a week. That's amazing. Tiffany S. says, I love your work, Wes. Thank you so much, Tiffany. I appreciate that. Ivante and Nursulu said, hi, how you doing? REM says, you back, Wes. Good to see you. Rem, it's good to see you, too. I'm sorry I didn't see you sooner. Barney Rubble, folks want to know what type of wood I'm using. This is an American chestnut. This is a 100-year-old piece of wood here. American chestnut has been around since the 1920s. So I happen to have a surplus of it, and I thought this would be the best for the color and the stain because of all the wormholes. If I hit the right angle, you can see right through some of them. See that at the top up here? So I'm hoping that'll add some interest. You can see through all of them. They just come through these other sides. I don't know if you can see it all. Anyways, yeah, so I'll sand those down, get that cleaned up some more, define it a little bit more with the with a couple other things. Yeah, Woodchucker says it makes it unique. I love the little details like that. It looks great, says Tiffany S. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all checking it out and hanging out with me. Got a bunch of likes, and I'm ever so grateful for that. And Calvin from Dad's Workshop came through and dropped me off a couple of bucks. So I appreciate the 5 spot from Cal and his sweet Heather over there at Dad's workshop. I think they probably logged off for the night, but I'll catch you guys on the other side because I think I too am gonna need to log off for the night, get my broody rest. But I might hop up early in the morning, do a quick morning wood, and finish that thing up before I head out to do the house building contract and as such. Because I'm really impatient. I really want to get it done. I like it. So far, so good. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks everybody who hung out so long. Woodchuck, I'm sorry I got to dip on you so soon, man. Tiffany says, how's that Bauer hold up? This thing has been rocking and rolling for this whole entire live. At least 2 hours, that thing has been moving. And it did a great job. Fantastic job. I have zero complaints about it. Wait a minute, I do have one complaint about it. It's petty, but it's placement, and I think it's important. That is the stop mechanism that locks the engine up so that you can use this chuck to take that off, right? That is the go mechanism that makes that thing start and runs the engine. They're in the exact same place on the opposite sides of the tool. And if you're not looking, you grab one or the other. You're going to take this off and you hit the power and you know what I'm saying? Or the other weird thing about this is if you're doing something, you're pressing this power button the whole time, right? You're not just, you know what I mean? So sometimes you start moving around and stuff, it's just natural to hold it there. But when I go to stop it, to push the power button, where's your hand going to want to grab? It's your thumb right here. You're going to want to pinch. If you do that, you're going to engage the engine to the stop mechanism too and blow the thing up. So I don't know why they do that. You got to bring your hand back here. It's kind of unnatural. I don't like that part of it. Other than that, this seems to be a really functional machine. I don't have much to compare it to, but I haven't found myself wanting for power or speed or anything out of it. So, you know, I would say it's a good tool, and I would probably recommend it. And for the price, I would even say it's an excellent tool. Tiffany says, nice, I have the Win, and it's also a workhorse. I thought about grabbing the Bauer as well. I love that tool. Woodchucker says, I just dropped all my carvings off at a restaurant. Hopefully I can sell them. Oh, man, that's awesome. That's great exposure, too. Where's check out my heart bear? Oh, I can't wait to see you did a heart bear. Yo, Woodchucker also did the heart challenge where we incorporate a heart into a piece of art or something that we do or make or build. And if you ever get the chance, you know what? Get over to Woodchucker. Look at that button up there and click on him. He's amazing. Michael Scott says, is that from Harbor Freight? Yes, it is from Harbor Freight. And I got it from there because I was trying to be cheap and didn't want to spend money on an expensive one. It's amazing. I don't think I need an expensive one. He said he'll have his full video out soon. That'll be awesome. I can't wait to see Woodchucker. And Tiffany says, good luck. I hope they all go quickly for you. Woodchucker's name is Caleb. We also call him that in here too. But yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out, man. Wes is awesome. Make sure you subscribe to him. He's a great, down to earth person. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That was from the homie Caleb. So unless y'all have any more questions real quick, like, I might tune it out and get up out, y'all. So I appreciate you all for popping in, making wooden bow ties. Yes, Jared, that is what we're doing. No, the version that I got is not cordless. In my experience, The corded tools, if you're going cheap, are going to be a little hardier. So, and this one seems to be fantastic. Jared says, honestly, corded is better. I am certain that there are better tools than the $39.99 special, but I don't have a complaint and I don't have a comparison. So for me, it's the best I've ever had. Thanks for sticking around for the Rex. Glad I caught it. Oh, Tiffany, thank you. I appreciate you coming through. And I appreciate you being a subscriber or however you got here in the algorithm. I'm glad you got here. Let me get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all. Oh, I'll say it to your face. I love you. I appreciate you. West Desert. Peace.